Qatar's Foreign Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani speaks as Kuwait's Foreign Minister Sheikh Ahmad Nasser Al Mohammed Al Sabah, Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu, Oman's Foreign Minister Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah and U.S. Senator Chris Murphy listened during a panel discussion during the 56th Munich Security Conference (MSC) in Munich, southern Germany, on February 15, 2020. The 2020 edition of the Munich Security Conference (MSC) takes place. Doha, Qatar's foreign minister on Sunday admitted that talks to resolve the two-year regional spat between Doha and Riyadh have stalled despite the flurry of diplomacy late last year raised hopes that the rift was on the mend. Saudi Arabia, along with its allies the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain and Egypt, cut all diplomatic, trade and transport ties with Qatar in June 2017. The four governments accused Doha of backing radical groups, including the Muslim Brotherhood, and seeking closer ties with Saudi arch-rival Tehran, allegations Qatar vehemently denies. "We have always been very open for dialogue, since the start of the Gulf Cooperation Council regional bloc crisis," Qatar's Foreign Minister Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani said at the Munich Security Conference on Saturday. "It's been almost 3 years since the crisis started. We are not the perpetrators of that crisis and we've been very open and clear that we are open to any genuine intention to resolve this problem. We demonstrated this when there was an opening last year in November. Unfortunately, these efforts didn't succeed and have been suspended at the beginning of January." Two Doha-based diplomats said they did not see any indications that the nascent talks could be resumed for the foreseeable future following a burst of engagement at the end of 2019. Neither side appeared willing to compromise enough for the talks to be viable, one told AFP. Hopes of a breakthrough were raised when Saudi, along with Bahrain and the UAE, agreed to participate in the Arabian Gulf Cup football tournament in Qatar in December, having initially boycotted it. Saudi King Salman then invited Qatar's ruler Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani to a GCC summit in Riyadh in December, but Qatar ultimately rebuffed Riyadh and instead sent then Prime Minister Abdullah bin Nasser bin Khalifa Al Thani. Qatari officials nonetheless suggested that the summit and shuttle diplomacy that began in November had broken a stalemate. The rift has seen the two sides trade barbs on everything from access to the Muslim holy city of Mecca to alleged Twitter hacking. It has also seen families divided, while Qatari businesses face increased costs, including projects linked to the 2022 World Cup, as well as complicating regional travel. Sign of goodwill. The Saudi-led bloc originally made 13 key demands to resolve the dispute, including Qatar shutting down broadcaster Al Jazeera, downgrading ties with Iran and closing a Turkish military base on its territory. The Pan-Arab Sharq al-Awsat newspaper on Wednesday quoted a Gulf diplomat who suggested Riyadh pulled out of the talks because the Qatari negotiators did not seem serious in reaching compromise. The unnamed diplomat accused Doha's team of prevaricating to prolong the negotiations, and said that Riyadh wanted a solution that included all of the boycotting countries. Abdulrahman said that while Qatar was not responsible for the suspension, Doha remained open to further dialogue. "We are trying to address the substance, to understand the root causes, and not to deal with whatever is said in the media or mentioned by non-officials," he said. "We want to be forward-looking, so that it's not repeated again." King's College London assistant professor Andreas Krieg said the Saudis were unhappy that the Qataris demanded some sign of goodwill before engaging in reconciliation efforts. They already came to an agreement on overflight rights. The Saudis wanted to go ahead, but then Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman changed his mind while in a majlis formal gathering in Abu Dhabi, he told AFP. Krieg said the UAE's motivation to boycott Qatar was Doha's perceived closeness to the Muslim Brotherhood, while for Saudi the priority was to address Qatar's alleged closeness to Iran. Experts had said that Saudi was keen to heal rifts among the wealthy Arab Gulf monarchies to help contain what it perceived as a mounting threat posed by Iran. Washington and its allies blamed Iran for last year's attack on key Saudi oil installations as well as a string of assaults on oil tankers in the Gulf. Tehran denies the accusations.